Check 1 2, check 1 2.
Test. Test. Test.
Test. You're gonna have to jack me up.
Good evening, Titan fans. Welcome to the first, the only State Girls Basketball 2024 State A preview show. The idea of Les Schroeder, he said we should do a preview show. We've never been to State before in 21 years, so here we are in an empty P area gymnasium that saw the girls only one loss on the season, go 9-1 here at home in a memorable season. 19-4 on the year so far are the Lady Titans. Lady Titans coached by Adam Shoresman, his 6th year, the Mitchell native teacher here in T, South Dakota. He's assisted by Scott Bindi. He works over at the elementary in his, I think his 5th year with Coach Shoresman. I think he's just missed 1 year. They were joined last year by Sarah Van Lacken, assistant coach, doesn't work in the district, but has really come in. And I know Coach Shoresman, coaching a girls team, really wanted to add a female presence, and so brought her in. And then this year, Bethany Vandegreen, the sister of Katie Vasica. We've also seen her on the bench this year, and so a fine coaching staff for the Titans. When I came here, I saw the cheerleaders being escorted out of town, police car. I'm going to give a shout out to the cheerleaders real quick. Their coach, Katie Peterson, Mosley Amory, Sophia Dodd, Nicole Fechner, Madison Olson, Michaela Sani, Piper Stadfelt, and Summer Honky. I'm not going to say it like it's printed here. They printed it in Vermilion Honky Summer, and so it's Summer Honky. For the Titans, we want to introduce you to the players on the Titans really briefly in numerical order. Ava Oppland, she's a sophomore guard. We've seen her. She's impressed me the most as a good ball handler, really solid player on the C team this year where she's got most of her minutes. Number 2, Maya Weber. She's one of the 4 seniors, starting guard where she started the last 2 years and a really solid presence out on the court. I was talking with Coach Shoresman last night. He said, I really like how she doesn't force shots, and she's really active defensively. Her cousin, number 3, Hayden West, a senior. How do you spell that again, Les?
W-E-S.
No, Hayden.
Oh, Hayden? H-A-Y-D-Y-N.
H-A-I-D-Y-N.
Oh, okay.
You're close.
I'm close.
Hayden has really turned it on lately. 10, 19, and 10 points in the last 4 games. And Coach Shoresman told me last night she's the leading three-point shooter on the team now. Something I told her last night, she was surprised to hear. Number 4, J.C. Babb. You'll see J.C., one of the first off the bench for the Titans, a 5'3" sophomore guard. And she comes in, and she's been in there in some big moments in some close games down the stretch, and a really good ball handler, really good defender. You don't see her taking a lot of shots, but she did down in Elk Point Jefferson towards the end of the year. She had some big shots.
She got a big steal when we needed it in that region game there that we had.
Number 5, Anna Bindi, another sophomore that'll come off the bench, one of the first off the bench, depending on what night. And what sticks out for me with her, 5 steals, Sioux Falls Jefferson game, and she's going to be one of the main Titans next year. She's as we see these 4 seniors leave, so she's having a nice season as well. Number 10, Mara Grant, down low, 5'11", senior forward, one of the best inside players we've ever had here in Thierry, and one of the best inside players in the state right now. A double-double machine is Mara Grant.
Yep.
Number 11, Ellie Clayberg, the only non-senior starter. She's a sophomore, 5'6", really good three-point shooter. And I think we've said before she's already gone down as one of the best catch-and-shoot players in T history. 8 threes in the Corn Palace game against Rapid City Christian. Number 12, Kaya Haynes, a junior. Good jump shot for Haynes whenever she's come in her varsity minutes in JV. Just a really nice jump shot. Another solid player, volleyball player as well.
Volleyball,
Number 13, Reese Hammerquist, 5'6", junior. One of only 3 juniors on this team. Really good high jumper, and she's not playing basketball. But we see her come off the bench, one of the first few off the bench, and goes down and spells Katie and Mara down low. And again, like Babb, doesn't take a lot of shots, but is effective in other ways defensively and just does everything right.
She's in the right positions, and she gets a lot of rebounds.
Yeah. Bree Umbright, sophomore, 6'2". She's a long player, and she won't hesitate to shoot a three-pointer when she's open. And another girl having a nice season as just a sophomore. See her more next year, as we will. Sophomore, number 20, Tatum Slykehouse. Coach Bindi told me she'll play any position that you ask, and she just wants to go out there and play and battle.
Yep.
Number 22, Presley Benning, sophomore, 5'7". Coach Bindi told me that besides Mara, she's the other player he would not want to wrestle with. He said she's just strong as heck down low in the paint.
Coach her sister as an 8th grader, and her sister's coming up too. So.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
Number 23, Katie Vasica, 6'1", senior, Titans all-time leading rebounder, leading scorer, going on to SDSU next year. I should have said Mara Grant going on to play at Dort as well. Katie going on to play at SDSU, and best girls player, among the best we've seen here in a long time. And one of the coaches told us this year, best player he's seen in the state in 6 years.
Yeah.
So I think that was Brandon Bentley's coach.
Mike Sear.
Coach Zier.
Yep.
Number 25, Sienna Mork, a junior, solid post player, and another one really strong down low. And Coach Bindi, I talked to him about her, and he said she just works hard every practice, and just another one that just does everything right. And number 32, sophomore, 5'9", is Natalie Gass. We've seen her come off the bench, one of the first few, 3-4 off the bench, and she's another one like Umbright. She'll shoot it if she's open behind the three-point line, and nice-looking player that's probably going to be starting next year and getting a lot more minutes next year. So those are your Titans girls and your coaches, and we're going to do a little bit about some of the 4 matchups that we're going to see tomorrow night. And Les is going to start off. Who do you have the first matchup? We're going to go in order.
We are.
The 1 versus 8.
1 versus 8. It's at 12 noon tomorrow afternoon. Sisseton Redmond. They are 21-1, and they will play Mount Vernon Plankington, who beat Aberdeen Roncalli to get into the state tournament. Let's see. Sisseton topped TS Bazina in the first round, and Millbank to get to the SODAC 16, and then beat a good Tri-Valley team that we've seen before to get to the state tournament. Mount Plankington is from Region 5 and topped Bonhomme in the first round, and then they set up a rematch of last year with Wagner and upset. You would look at that as an upset them to get to the SODAC 16 where they took on Aberdeen Roncalli after our game. And they won 46-40 behind Emily Fox's 27 to earn the 8th seed at the tournament in Brookings tomorrow.
How do you see that one going? 1 versus 8?
Well, it's 2 different styles of play because Sisseton likes to slow it down and likes to get it inside. They're led by 6'2" junior Krista Langer, and she's the one inside post player for the Redmond. Their only loss was to the Sioux Falls Christian Chargers in that clash.
We called it.
We did call that one.
We
did call that one. So their common opponents that the Titans played is Sioux Falls Christian, Mobridge Pollock, Lennox, and Tri-Valley. And again, Mount Vernon is coached by Preston Christian. They are led by SDSU recruit Emily Fox with over 20 a game. And she had 27 in their win against Aberdeen Roncalli.
Over 2,000 points in her career, I believe, as well for Fox.
Yes. They lost to Parkston at the end of the year, but have won 4 straight. So I feel that if Fox gets going and has other teammates that are going to help her out, I feel that the number, again, this is a wide open tournament. I really feel that. If they can get out and get a good shooting percentage, they can take down the number 1 seed.
I think so. I think Sisseton has to be really afraid of MVP. And we saw them in the SODAC 16, and Emily scored 3/4 of their points that night. It was the Emily Fox. They didn't score a lot, but she scored a lot.
Yes, exactly. So
that one's wide open. I really mean that. Coach Shorsman believes it, too. We'll get to more to that later. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see an 8 topple a 1. I wouldn't be surprised if that 8 goes a long way. MVP goes a long way in this tournament.
Yes.
Player I wanted to talk about that I talked to just this afternoon, Maya Weber, one of the 4 seniors. We're going to kind of highlight some of the seniors. We asked them some serious questions and some fun questions. We'll try to get through it fairly fast here. Asked every player what they were looking forward to at state. Maya is looking forward to team bonding and playing. And when I called her, it was kind of on speakerphone, so you could hear everybody in the background. It sounded like they were having a good time out there. Something that encourages you or helps you settle nerves, she says, listening to music. She says that what really helps her is their dance parties they have before the game. I asked her who was the best dancer. Do you have a guess?
Scott Bendy?
No, absolutely not.
Oh, no, okay. Girl best dancer, I'm going to go with Kaya Haynes.
Oh, she said herself. And then
okay.
Hayden West was in the background, and Hayden West said, no, it's me. So
okay. All right.
I don't know.
All right.
I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. Well, hopefully we get to see them this weekend then. That would be kind of fun.
Dancing.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, that's right.
I asked a couple players this. What does it mean to you in 21 years? You're going to go down. This is the best team we've ever had.
Yes.
No question about that. It's probably going to be the best team for a while. She said it's really special. I liked this answer, Les. She said it's really special because she grew up coming to games here and watching players. And she said, how weird is it that team I'm on, my senior year, is going to be the best team we've ever had? And how neat is that? And then I asked her, you've came and watched a lot of these games. Do you have a favorite player? Des Patzwald.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good one.
And
that's a good one.
And she said it's their neighbor, and so that's a good one.
Yep, that is a good one.
I told her Des was a bulldog out there.
Yep, he was.
I asked her a few fun ones. Which player is the most likely to not like most restaurants that they visit? And that's a Rick question. I got that from Rick.
Okay. I'm going to say Mara Grant.
She said Katie. Katie complained last night that they wanted to go to Qdoba. Can you believe that?
Whoa.
My
no,
friend
I would not.
Noah Watson loves Qdoba.
He does.
Yes. I can't believe that. Come on, Katie.
Yes,
I just did get word from Coach Bindi
Okay.
that the girls did pick Culver's for lunch today.
Okay.
Ooh,
So,
there we go.
That's
sorry, Katie, if you're watching this now or later, don't let it ruin your night.
That's right.
Like, just move on. Culver's is good.
Culver's is outstanding.
That's right.
For fast food.
I like that place.
I asked her which player was the likely to eat the most junk food at State.
I'm going to go with Natalie Gass.
I knew who it was. It's Mara Grant.
It
Just
is Mara
from
Grant. Okay, it is Mara Grant. Okay.
being around the volleyball side of it.
Well, you're
Mara.
right. You're right. I was just being nice.
Which parent is most likely to start the wave at State?
Ooh,
Which parent?
Kim Gass.
no. I'm going to say.
Well, actually, it's Tasha Weber.
Do I get a guess?
Sure.
Varsity parent? I
Yep.
need to know.
Yep.
It's Tasha
Then
Weber.
it's
Not Tasha Weber?
Julie Babb.
It's Dawn and Tasha.
Oh,
There
okay.
you go.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
So we'll
Julie,
get to-
I thought Julie.
Julia, that's
Julie,
that's a good
Julie's
one, too.
capable
Julia,
of doing
yes,
that.
so is Julia, yes.
Okay, 2 versus 7 now. We'll go back to a matchup, and then we'll do, after this, we'll do another player, and then we'll do the Titans matchup.
Okay, that's fine. Number 7 is Hanson Beavers. They are the Beavers. They're not the Beaverettes.
Beaverettes in my world.
They are the Beavers. I looked it up online. It is the Beavers. Anyway, they are coached by Jim Bridge. How many wins does he have?
Over 600.
Yes, I think you're right. He's topped Don Sire, and so now he is the number 1.
So you don't know. You were just seeing if Shad knows.
No, I did know that.
Okay.
I did know that. I did.
683, maybe.
I did. They beat Sanborn Central Woonsocket and Parkston. Parkston's a team that we played to get to the Sodak 16, where they beat a good Florence Henry team to earn their trip. They've been playing well at the end of the season by beating good teams in Parkston and Florence Henry. 5 wins in a row to get to the tournament. An early season, they beat Ethan, who was number 1 in B at the time. So, again, they are led by this Hawkins girl. Both teams like to get up and down the court. I forgot to mention the Sioux Falls Christian Chargers are the 2 seed. That would be the team that we played the Classic at the Pentagon.
Titans had a pretty decent lead late and just let it slip away.
Yeah, that was that overtime loss that I've already forgotten about. But
Was
anyway,
that double overtime?
That was double.
Was
over-
it?
Yes, that was double.
They hit
overtime.
buzzer beaters at the end of regulation
Yes.
and at the end of overtime 1. The Chargers did to send it
Yes.
into extras both times.
Yes. So, and I don't know. I can see they both shoot the ball well. It's a matter of who shoots the ball better tomorrow night.
I don't think. And apologies to. I have a good friend that's a Beaver fan, a
Okay.
super Beaver fan, and he also played at Sioux Falls Christian. Lane
Okay.
Bittner. Apologies to him, but it's going to be all Chargers in that one by 20.
Okay. All right. I'm just gonna be biased and not say one way or the other. So,
One of the other seniors for the Titans, Mara Grant, and I asked her what she looked forward to the most. Again, hanging out and just supporting each other and having a good time in Brookings. I asked her where the Dream Shake came from that we've admired so much the last few years, and she said it was last summer working with Katie's sister, Bethany.
Okay.
Kind of taught
Yep,
her
I
that,
thought that.
and she said it just stuck. It just stuck with me then. So good job, Bethany.
Yep.
I asked her, let's be honest, Flander's big. They're going to have some, we'll get
They
to that
do.
later.
They do.
I said, does their size worry you? She said, a little. She said, we're looking to go zone defense, and we're going to look to use our speed a little bit. And Mara, even though Mara is an inside player, she has good speed. We've seen her before beat a lot of defenders down the court.
Well,
so.
do you know who's second on the team in steals? Be Mara Grant.
Mara?
Mara Grant. Yes.
She's had several where she's over 4 and 5.
63 steals is what I read the other day.
I asked how she's improved. This is no secret. She's improved a ton since her sophomore year. We said it last year early. She's turned herself into a college player, we said last year, and of course she is going to Dort. She said AAU last summer, private workouts, camps, working with Coach Shoresman in the gym, and also being on the shooting machine.
Yep.
And having a shooting machine, that lets you get up, 500 shots in 45 minutes. So a lot of different things. Favorite game this season? Do you guys have a guess.
For Mara?
Yep.
From Mara. Probably the.
It shocked me.
Home or away?
Is it? Yeah.
It was not here.
Okay.
I'm gonna say
it's-
at the Corn Palace. I'm gonna say the Mitchell. I'm gonna say the Rapid City Christian game then.
Less. You took my cue of saying it wasn't not here because it wasn't really a road game. It was kind of a it was a Corn Palace game.
Corn.
And I said, "Are you crazy? 8:00 in the morning? That's your favorite game?" But it was a cool game. Cool to play in the Corn Palace.
What did you say she was like looking forward to? What was your first thing that you mentioned?
Hanging out.
Yeah. So, again, I was talking to Coach Bindi, and he mentioned one of the things that the girls really were having fun doing up there already is just decorating their rooms.
Oh.
They were excited to decorate the rooms. And, and that's the stuff that you hope that student athletes get a chance to go do because that's stuff that they're going to remember all the time. They'll forget maybe the game, depending on how climactic that game is, but they're going to remember that decorating their motel rooms and going out to eat and hanging out. And so, yeah.
Yep, absolutely. And we didn't know. I remember asking Coach Shoresman earlier in the year, "Are you going to state?" And we knew it was in Brookings. He didn't know. The admin let it be up to him, and he immediately said, "We are going, and we're going today. We're going Wednesday. And they're going to an FCA banquet tonight, Fellowship of Christian Athletes." And so,
Practice at 11.
then I asked her some fun questions. You think about it, the Titans have played in the Corn Palace, Huron Arena, and the Pentagon this year, so pretty cool. I asked her who was most likely to lose their hotel room card.
Katie.
And she said Maya Weber. She said Maya loses everything.
All right.
So hopefully Maya holds on to that
That's right.
card this weekend.
That's right.
Which parent will get the most excited this weekend?
Her mother.
Her mom. She said Tasha and Josh Weber will be the most excited this weekend.
Not Heidi.
And I asked this, guys, if you were playing a 2v2 game, $1 million prize on the line, which of the 4 coaches would you pick?
Oh, geez.
Okay, so.
I'm thinking.
I don't even want you guys to guess. I want you guys to tell me who you'd pick.
Okay, so if I was playing 2-on-2, me and a coach against you and a coach, who am I taking?
Taking Van
Oh,
Laken.
Bethany.
Yeah, well,
Bethany.
I was going to take Van Laken.
I think you're both right.
Taking both
She
of them.
picked Bindi.
Wow.
And then number 2, I
Bindi's
said, well, who's
feeling
your
good
second
right
pick?
now.
And she said Shoresman.
Oh,
And
man.
here's a good reason, though.
All right.
Mara said Bindi will step in and practice and help guard her, like when they're short
Right.
players. And she goes,
I
he,
could see that.
he frustrates the heck out of me. So
Oh, I guess. Yeah, I see that.
I said, only if you could have came to some of those seniors versus staff games in years past, you would know. I love you, Scott. Our game, it's T-Area Titans versus the Flander Warriors. T-Area Titans come in 19-4. Flander comes in 23-0. I'll give you the Flander starters. They're really about 6 you have to worry about. 5'8" sophomore Hannah Kroll, 5'11" junior Sadie Lott. This is the big 3, the next 3 that have been playing together since 8th grade. 5'11" senior Lily Klein. She's a Northern State commit. She can really make the 3-pointers. I watched a region game where she hit 3 in a row and 3 possessions, all from the corner. So Lily Klein, I believe she wears number 10. 5'11" senior Liz Pavlis, DWU commit is where she's going. Did I say Klein's going to Northern State?
You did.
She's going to Northern State. And then their leader, 6'2" senior. Again, they're all world player, that all-time scoring leader, rebounding leader, Claire Shepard. She'll be going and playing with Katie Vasika at SDSU. And despite being 6'2", just like Vasika, you'll see Claire bring up the ball a lot. And she is, you watch her tomorrow night, Claire Shepard is a phenomenal passer, and she loves passing more than scoring. And then her sister, who's just an 8th grader and also 6'2", Morgan Shepard, will come off the bench and play a lot for them. So a lot of the times you're going to see tomorrow night against Flander a 6'2", a 6'2", a 5'11", a 5'11", and then a 5'8", and so or another 5'11". So they have they're just long and they have size, and they use that really well to their advantage. They're coached by Megan Sievertson, a Hanson Beaverette, and then an Augustana player, standout 3-year NSIC all-conference player. Spirit of Sioux winner.
Yes, she was.
Is Sievertson. So will that carry over to maybe Claire Shepard? I'm looking at her as maybe a Spirit of Sioux winner. I'm looking at a couple T girls maybe as Spirit of Sioux winners. We'll see.
Emily Fox.
Assistant coach for Flander, Jesse Giles from Madison that we've seen a ton.
Yes, we have.
And then Jesse went on to play at Dakota State there in Madison, and so good assistant coach. She's been there a couple of years. They score 61 a game. The Titans score 62 a game. However, Flander gives up 30 a game. That's the best in Class A. They give up 30 a game. They really like their defense. They're really active in passing lanes. If you put up a sloppy pass, they're going to take it, and they're going to be gone down the court. Shepard is a great passer, but a lot of them are great passers too. They play primarily what I've seen a man-to-man defense. Again, those passing lanes, they will jump those passing lanes like nobody's business. They guard and rebound well. They appear to be well coached. And a lot of times you'll see them on offense 5 outside the 3-point line. And they'll do that, which can be hard to guard at times. And anyone on the team can beat you, whether it's the Shepard girl or Pavlis or Klein, even Lott and Kroll. I mean, they've had nights where they're led by any of those players. And their closest games this year, no one's ever been within 11 of them. Les is he's gutting it through here for his Titans. He's going straight to bed after this. Their closest games, they won by 11 against Lyman. They won by 12 against Sioux Valley. They won by 15 against Centerville, and they won by 17 against Arlington. Those are their closest games. So I don't think that bodes well for you going into a state tournament. I just really don't. You've played 23 games, and they've all been blowouts. And I just don't. You want some tough games in there.
But those two teams that you mentioned, they are Class B participants in the state B tournament. So
they have also played Flander. If you look at, and Coach Shorsman told me that he tells his players there's going to be sick about hearing they don't play anybody as in Flander. They have 5 or 6 games on their schedule this year of teams that didn't win more than 3 games. And so you look at that against the Titans team that's played 7 AAs, has played Vermilion and Dakota Valley, and EPJ and Sioux Falls Christian. You're getting me sick. So what's going to happen tomorrow night? 23-0, 19-4. I think it's going to be a great game. And like I told Katie this afternoon, I said, that's your premier game on night one is that 7:30 p.m. game. And everybody knows Shepard and Vasica and T-Area and Flandreau and 2 programs that have been really good lately. So I think the Titans can definitely come away with a win. That wouldn't be a surprise to anybody at all.
Yeah, I think in that game, it's some intriguing matchups because you have Flandreau, who has that invaluable experience of last year, and they played in some competitive games in that thing last year. They're well coached and just balanced scoring. But then you have the X factor of arguably, maybe not to me, the best player in the state with Katie Vasica. So you're looking at a team that's battle-tested in the Titans during the regular season against a team that's battle-tested in the big spotlight of a state tournament. So I think that game very well should have been the 7:45 game, and it was. Like, for the fans, I'm glad that was a 7:45 game.
And, hey, that's a great point. Titans are more battle-tested this regular season, but this isn't the first dance for Flander. They've been there. Right. They were a favorite in 2019 in the COVID year where they didn't get to play. And so, 2 great teams. And Flander, like MVP, and like Sioux Falls Christian, and like T-Area, could go all the way. It'd be no surprise if any 4 of those, so far we've got 2 more to go, but any of those went all the way. You want to wrap up the Titans, Flander? These are the 3 standouts to me for Flander, as we'll see tomorrow night. Defense. Rebounding, and passing and sharing the basketball. And they have had moments where they're a little out of control, but for the most part, those are and those all lead to scoring. So
and I was just going to say that if we can limit our turnovers, and we get off to a better start than we did against Millbridge Pollock, again, we have the best chance to win that game tomorrow night, and I think we can. We just have to play well and anything can happen. I'm excited because I know, yes, it's our first tournament. We'll be nervous, but once the nerves, what's our stat in the second and third quarter? We usually outscore teams by tons, and so I'm excited for this matchup. And
first and third, we've gotten out some good starts.
And I got one more thing to interject over here on the side. And I just think the Titans, too, are such a dangerous team because they have girls that are playing their best basketball at the end of the season. The last couple of games, Mara has really just been balanced in everything she does. Hayden West stands out to me every game from about the last 3 or 4 weeks. And then just on the defensive side of the ball, whether it's Maya, whether it's JC Babb, and they're just hounding the opposing players. So we're getting some girls, Ellie, in the corner. That's such a weapon. So, it could be scary. You put all that together.
And, we were here at practice, our last practice here at this gym, and we heard Coach Van Laken, do your role. And if everybody does their role, I think we'll be all right.
Yep. First ever basketball here in the girls. No, it's not.
Really? What? Really? Where'd you find that thing at?
Another player I talked to last night was Hayden West. And what is Hayden West looking forward to this weekend? It's a new experience. She is looking forward to just being in the hotel with her teammates. And she said she's never been there before, never been a part of any of this. She's just really excited to see what this is all about and just be at state. That's a good answer. I told her, again, you've played the best basketball of the season recently. Why? She said the start of the year she was timid, and now she's just playing more loose. And she said in these games now are really meaningful, and she does not like to lose. So hopefully she keeps it going. I asked her how they beat Flander. How do you beat Flander? She says she understands they're tall. She understands they're undefeated. And she said, as a reminder, we haven't talked about this yet, probably because it doesn't mean a lot. They did beat Flander this summer at the Pentagon in the Summer Jam.
In the Summer Jam Championship. I was running clock next to Claire Shepard's mother that night that we won.
Shout out to Claire Shepard's mother.
Shout out
there
to Claire
it
Shepard's
is.
mom.
First shout out
That's
of the
right.
night, folks.
First shout out, yes.
But Coach Shorsman also reminded me they also beat Sioux Falls Christian twice in the Summer Jam and lost to them. So
yeah, we did. Yep.
She said we beat them this summer. She says she believes in their 2-3 zone that they're putting in is gonna stop Flander. So we'll see. I don't know how long that zone is gonna stay. I don't know if it's gonna just be shown to start and then go. I've heard a few things. So we'll see.
We'll see tomorrow night.
We'll see. Fun questions for Hayden West. I said, which parent is most likely to get lost going to Brookings? And Hayden's goes, how can you get lost going to Brookings? It's like a straight shot. I said, you've never rode with Les before.
Oh, wow. Ouch. Okay.
She said Tasha Weber is going to get lost going to Brookings.
All right. Well,
don't want to mess with Tasha.
No,
she takes care of us during games.
She does. I don't want to mess with Tasha.
So she might be directionally challenged.
I'm not saying anything.
Hopefully Josh drives.
Yeah.
Which player is most likely to win the Spirit of Sioux, Les?
See, I got two, but
You don't have to say them.
I'm not gonna. Yeah.
She said Katie, just
Okay.
because she said Katie is a great teammate and a person. And I like this a lot from Hayden West. She goes, Katie gets a lot of attention, and she said because she deserves a lot of attention. And so we'll get a little bit on that later, talk to Coach Shorsman about what it's like to have maybe, a superstar player, and then how that's not always a great thing for a team. More on that.
Okay.
Which coach is most likely to cry happy tears in Brookings?
Van Laken.
Coach Shorsman, she said. She said she thinks she's seen him cry before. I have cried, been in his class before, but I haven't seen him. No, just kidding. The 4-5 Vermilion Tanagers, and that's a dangerous team. That's a dangerous team against Red Cloud. I think the
You're not
4
gonna pronounce
wins
that other one.
No, I didn't even write it. I didn't even write it down. But the Crusaders, I believe, Vermilion,
they are Crusaders.
19-4, Red Cloud 22-0. Vermilion has finally gotten healthy. They've won 12 of their last 13.
Yes.
In fact, they're 15-2 since they faced and lost to the Tyria Titans by 9.
Wow.
There are 4 losses for Vermilion: Crofton, T Area, Florence Henry, and Wagner. I don't know anything about Crofton because they're from Nebraska.
Yep.
But Florence Henry, and Wagner, no joke of programs there. So
and that T game, they were short-manned, and it was competitive the whole time.
Exactly.
They were up in the fourth quarter,
Exactly.
I believe,
we didn't take the lead till late.
So, they're no slouch.
Yeah, they're led by 8th grader Lexi Hansen and senior Janaea Cleveland. It seems like she's played there forever.
The Cleveland sisters, yeah.
And junior Brooke Jensen, among others.
Yep.
You look at Red Cloud, 22-0. Listen to these scores that they've won games by. And, again, I don't think this is always a great thing.
Okay.
And you have to remember, when they're putting up this high of scores, they're doing this with a second quarter running clock.
Yep.
And I'm not going to say who they beat. 93-19, 88-22, 94-25, 78-11, 84-22, and 78-28.
Wow.
And They, if you've seen Red Cloud play, they will literally chuck the ball up the court. They will literally inbound it to a player, and she will run down and shoot it. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. It's obviously it's worked from their 22-0. They don't care if they turn it over 25 times a night. They are at times really fun to watch and at times really frustrating to watch.
But I think Vermilion will bring the defense tomorrow night too.
Vermilion wins that one, I think, by 8 to 10.
Okay.
Should have asked Drew
I
Weber.
think Les wanted to attempt to pronounce that.
Red
Cloud.
No, I'm not going to pronounce Red Cloud Crusaders. That's what I'll say.
That's what you wrote?
That's what I wrote.
Okay.
That's right.
They are 22-0 only. I asked you this last night, but there's only 3 other undefeated teams. Dakota Valley Boys, Sioux Falls Christian Boys, Rapid City Central Boys, and O'Gorman Girls.
And the O'Gorman Knights, yeah.
Yep.
He was ready for that.
I was. Because you asked me, or go ahead.
We've joked about you being an O'Gorman fan last night. That was the only one you missed last night when I asked you about
I know that was
and I told you, I'm telling Coach Colesrud.
I know. Colesrud's listening.
Colesrud is watching probably. But, speaking of
Not anymore.
Exactly. But speaking of that experience, for the girls at the with the hotel rooms and decorating, that's what I remember when I was there with Coach Colesrud and all those teams. Was the fun experience.
You decorated your room, Les?
I didn't decorate my room, but I'm just saying.
Put Viking stuff and
no. If I had anything, it was probably blue and white. But.
Red Cloud can be led by about anybody. Their top girl, 5'4", Kennedy Friedia, is seeing a 5'4" being in the league. You don't see that a lot, but they don't have great size. I think they have one girl over 5'10", Red Cloud, and you want to talk about strength of schedule? They're not going to be in that discussion.
No.
They score 73 a night. Tanagers give up 39 a night, so something's got to give in that one. Last player we're going to talk about, Katie Vasica, and then we'll had a long talk with Coach Shorsman last night, as we always do, and always a great time. She is looking forward to the most spending time with teammates, and then, no surprise here, playing against good competition. She knows there's going to be good competition down there. And I asked her if she was rooming with Claire Shepard at SDSU.
Oh, no, it's Emily Fox.
Emily Fox. I knew I'd heard something, but I couldn't.
Nope, it's Emily Fox.
And I said, are you going to be guarding Claire? She says, possibly. Might do this zone, but if we come out of the zone, I'll probably be guarding her, and she's excited about that. I asked her which future, there is just 5. They're all from South Dakota going to SDSU. I asked her who she's closest with, and she said Claire and Emily. And she said, but probably leaning more towards Emily because they lift together at Boom.
Oh, okay.
So, but she is close with Claire as well, it sounds. And I asked her mindset going into state. Are you going to let the game come to you, or are you going to play, more aggressively? And she said, just same as all season long. We're gonna do what we do. We've done all season long. Nothing's going to change. So, which teammate is most likely to go to bed the earliest? I asked Katie Vasica.
It's definitely not Mara.
She said myself. She said she loves to go to bed and sleep. Which teammate is most likely to oversleep in the morning?
That would be Mara Grant.
Mara. She said Hayden and Maya. And then she had a pretty good laugh about that. So maybe there's an inside story. I don't know. But hopefully you guys get up tomorrow, Hayden and Maya.
Yes.
Which parent most likely will never yell at the state tournament, no matter what happens?
Al West.
That was my thought.
No, her dad.
Westy is
her dad.
Westy isn't her dad.
No, I know Al West. I know that. But
Lovable Al West. Well, he can't because he's going to be working. He's in official capacity.
He's actually got a job.
She said
he's a professional.
The Hammerquist parents.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
The Hammerquist parents.
Right.
So, yeah, they're not, unlike Les, they are not yellers, and you get worked up sometimes.
I do? Okay.
And so we've talked about the players, we've talked about the matchups, and I'm going to have you guys pick a team, not name the Titans, not name the T-Area Titans, because we have 2 Titans in this tournament. And first I wanted to talk about, I talked with Coach Shorzy last night, and he told me something that Coach Dave Preheim shares with him. So if you get 3 stops in a row, and you do that 7 times in a basketball game, you are 81% likely to win that game. And so that's something he says Coach Preheim's kind of taking him under his wing a little bit and just seeks him out and tells him stuff because Coach Preheim not doing it now, but an outstanding former coach for the Titans.
He's the best coach in the state that's not coaching, hands down right now.
Yep. And And so he said, we call that turkeys. So watch tomorrow night, watch this weekend when they get 3 in a row. He said they did it, I think, 3 times. They got 3 stops in a row, 7 times in a row in the first half, 3 different times in the Mobridge Pollock game, he told me. So that's something we're going to watch for tonight.
Yeah.
The turkeys. So 3 in a row.
Love it.
Yeah. I asked him about Hayden West, why she's been playing so well. And he said that he tells his girls, if you're working really hard, you probably don't have time to think about some of the things that aren't going right for you. He said, I really think it's because she's just playing so hard out there, and she's not worrying about the what's not going right for her. And I thought that was pretty interesting. Yeah, he said, they've beat him twice at Summer Jam, and but he said, let's not hang your hat on that. That is not who they are anymore. It's not who we are anymore. Coach, I asked him, if it's not the Titans, if it's someone else, who's going to be the state champs this year? And I'll let you guys guess on that, who he said.
Who's Shoresman said or who
Yep.
Who Shoresman said?
Yep.
I'm going to say Shoresman said Vermilion.
Okay, Rick.
I agree.
He said Mount Vernon Plankington, the 8th seed. So interesting.
Well, that's wide open. Like
And
we talked about, wide open.
I was
but-
going to ask him an underdog, and there's not a bigger underdog than saying the 8 team's going to win it all.
Exactly,
So
yeah.
Especially an 8 team that's got a D1 player on their team.
Exactly.
That's
that's
dangerous.
That's pretty dangerous. Yep.
One word to describe this team that he told me, and if you guys have one, I'll give you a little bit of time to think about it, but I think he nailed it. Obviously, he's been around these guys more than anybody. He said together.
Yep.
He said they're just a really close-knit team, and he said, honestly, and this is hard to believe, and I believe him, but this is hard to do. He said there's no drama on this team, and there's drama on a lot of teams, and he said there's no drama on this team, and I kind of sensed that, watching them, and did we lose our camera? Maybe. We'll keep talking here. Maybe it was on a timer.
Yep.
And I saw the red light wasn't blinking anymore. So maybe we have.
Well, I have gritty.
Gritty.
Gritty is a good one for
like
this.
doing the gritty, like the.
Well, yeah, that too. I mean, but no, just they come to every game and they work hard every game. Doesn't matter the opponent, AA, and they're ready to play. And so I think all 15 of them.
Yep.
Are gritty.
Are we still on, Rick? Sorry about that. The screen went blank, so hopefully, if you're not seeing us, you're hearing. I'd rather you hear us anyway.
Yeah,
than
no,
not
I would
see
rather
us.
you hear us anyway. Exactly.
I asked him, name me a player who doesn't get a lot of glory, still stands out, and shows up. Anna Bindi.
Yes.
I asked for a Rudy of your team, and he said, we don't have any Rudies. He said, but Anna's always, she shows up, she plays hard, she's vocal, she tries to get the other girls into it. And I've seen that a little bit for being a sophomore. It's hard for a sophomore to kind of be vocal on, you're one of the younger players on the team, but he said her. And I asked him this, I was glad I asked him this, a non-player, a non-coach, a non-parent who has stepped up and has meant a lot to this team. And we were actually talking about this guy before he even said it, but Mark Peterson.
Yes.
He said has just been huge. He's done our stats for a number of years. Went out and did some fundraising, and so
His daughter was a starter for this team last year.
Yep,
And
Mark Peterson. And so the last part we have to talk about is I wanted to save this till last for him, and I said, your wife Ashley, I want you to talk about her support and what she means to you. And he went on and on and on for this one.
Yes.
And he said she's phenomenal. He said he's too lucky to have someone like her, and I would agree. And he said one of the parents recently reached out and just said thank you to her for all you do and how much that meant to him,
saw
and
that.
how much it meant to her. And so he said there's a special place in heaven for Ashley, and I would agree. And I don't know her well, but always smiling, always positive, always saying hi. And he says she does a lot behind the scenes. He says as we speak, or I think earlier that day, he said she was going to Walmart to get them prizes for playing bingo later that night. So
That's cool.
things like that. And I didn't know this, but she grew up. She's a coach's wife, and she's a coach's daughter.
Oh.
Her dad was an assistant football coach, and he was so good with the media stuff that he often was the one they interviewed on the radio when they wanted to talk about the teams. And so Ashley Shoresman, I know she means a lot to this team, means a lot to her husband, so I was glad to close out with that. And seriously, we talked about it for quite a while, and then I said, "You tell her hi," and he said, "Ashley Shad says hi." He was she was in the same room. So great lady there, and so there is your update. Now we're going to talk just briefly about. You almost ended up in the parking lot.
Fire in the hole.
So let's just talk about this. First round, 1 versus 8.
Yep.
Who you guys have?
Mount Vernon, Plankton.
You're taking Plankton.
Yep.
I think it's going to be close, but I don't think they're going to do it. So okay, you've got MVP. I'm gonna go chalk with the 1.
Okay.
2 versus 7. You got.
Yeah,
Christian.
can I?
Oh yeah.
Thanks. I got to go with the 8. When you have that D1 player, I don't know. I'm going the Titans on the upset.
And I didn't look to you for approval because I could see you nodding, and I thought you're nodding your head with me. Now I'm scared. It's 1 versus 2. I'm sticking with the 1. You guys are going 8. Okay, that's going to be a great one.
Yes.
2 versus 7. I think we're probably all in agreement. Christian's going to roll over to the Beaverettes.
Right.
Yes.
3 versus 6. I think the Titans have a great chance. Battle tested again, and these could be maybe the 2 best teams in this tournament. I don't know, but
I agree. I think
agree.
the winner of this game. I was just going to say the winner of this game is my pick to actually win it, but the Titans got so many girls stepping up at the right time, and then you just watch their bench. You mentioned it before, girls like Anna Bindi who are totally into the game, even if she's not into the game. That makes such a big difference to the girls that are in the game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Seeing a player on the bench that's giving it her all, that it isn't even out there more than maybe 10 minutes, maybe 5, whatever her role is. But, she's also a player that I wouldn't be surprised to make a big shot if the Titans are to make a run. There's going to be a game somewhere in the next 3 days that somebody's going to come up with a big play that you won't expect.
Yes.
Awesome.
I agree.
We've talked about it before, all 3 of us, how I wish players knew that even if you aren't checking into the game, you can still have such a positive impact on your team. You can still make a difference even if you're not playing. And I wish more young people understood that. So what do we have? The last one now, the 4-5. I think we're probably all in agreement. I think it's going to be Vermilion. They're at full strength. I think if they're full strength to start the year, they're a top 3 seed in this tournament,
Agree.
I think.
I agree. I think Vermilion.
Les, you're not having doubts after the 2020 Sodax 16. Wasn't that where did Red Cloud defeat the Lady Titans?
They did.
Yeah, they did.
I thought Les might have some
No, I mean,
long-lasting, lingering effects.
I remember that game in Pier, but I'm gonna.
They won. Red Cloud won by 18, and honestly, I went down there thinking, we're going to state.
Yep.
So that would set the Titans up then in the semis against Christian.
It would.
Okay.
I like that matchup.
I love
Again,
that matchup.
Titans outplayed them, and Christian just,
Right.
I think they hit like something like, we were doing stats for that game at the Pinnacle.
They had
I think
3 in a
6
row.
or 7, 3 in a row
Three in a
threes, but
row.
6 or 7 threes in the fourth quarter alone. Just kind of
Big shots.
Big shot.
Titans win that game 99 times out of 100, and then Sioux Falls Christian's fans got behind them, and that was a good learning experience early on for the Titans.
Yes.
I'd take the Titans to win that one, and then in the semis
Sign
on
me
the other
up.
side.
I agree.
Semis on the other side.
It would be
Well-
Falls Christian and you
No,
have
Vermilion.
or Vermilion. Yeah, you have Vermilion and Mount Vernon Plankton
Shad has Sisseton and Vermilion.
and Vermilion. I'm going Vermilion going to the championship.
I'm going whoever meets it. I think Vermilion goes to the
Agree.
championship.
I
Agree.
agree.
So you could see a Titans Vermilion
Let's
state
go.
championship
I would
matchup.
love that matchup.
And it's all blue and gold there, guys.
Yes, I would love it.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Well, did we miss anything? If you're watching, and if you've watched all season long, we thank you so much, and we thank you for all the support and all the fun we've had. And we kind of brought Rick into the fold and this year, and it's been a really seamless transition. I've heard a lot of people say it's been a really good move. Someone I got home, and they text me, whoever thought about giving Rick a microphone is
Oh,
brilliant.
geez.
So
Yes,
welcome aboard, Rick. And
we
you're
really
going to
Thanks,
be with us
fellas.
next year.
Yes, we really love it. This is gonna be a fun tournament. Good luck to the Lady Titans, and may the best team win.
Congratulations after 21 years.
Finally got
I told Coach Shorsman last night that me and you had so many times where we've sat around going, this is going to be the starting five, and these ones are going to be out there nerding it out.
Yep.
And then when I told you one night, I said, I just think we're going to get a really good transfer player. I think our luck is going to change.
It is.
We got a transfer player, and then we got some girls that really went in and put in the work.
They did put in the work.
Turned themselves into good players. And this team is going to be a team that it's a team for a lot of your old players, Rick, and that are going to be happy and are going to be watching and looking for it. It's for all those former players that struggled.
Yes.
And
those early years
when we just and there was just Rick, we've talked about it before, and some of those players, some of those 5 starters wouldn't even play on a team like this,
Yeah, it's just a different world.
We had 3 college level players that all transferred out of here, and we had another girl that transferred to Roosevelt, and it was just a dark time. And so this is for all of them, and for Rick that did all that work, and
Dave Preheim, who was
Coach Decker.
the original, the OG.
Coach
Not
Decker.
no, he's glass.
Yeah, no, I know.
You know what OG I was talking about.
Yep, you know, yep.
So we hope you all enjoy it. If you were up there in Brookings, we hope you make the short trip and come support, and it's going to be a great time.
One thing that there's going to be a new state champ. Last year's all 3 AA, A, and B. The team that won it last year is not there. Let's hope it's the Titans, the area Titans this year.
And I just hope, it's one of those things, like I think you alluded to it earlier. When you have a team in the state tournament, it allows all these younger girls that like basketball that might want to be good at it someday. It takes it to a whole nother level.
It does. Well, even
like they're seeing the spotlight, they're seeing the big stage they're on, and that's a big deal. Like when you see that for a young kid, you want to get there. If you never get to see it, it's hard to know what it would even be like to fathom that excitement. So, these girls are a big deal to a lot of people. So that's a neat thing.
And we saw that this morning when we sent them off. All our elementary schools, Legacy, Venture, and Frontier, they drove right by them and had all the kids standing outside, and those girls were eating it up. And the girls that were cheering for them, we're loving every single minute of those seniors and that team on that bus.
Yep.
It was a blast this morning.
Good stuff.
Dr. Lowry told me that she came back from one of the awards ceremonies, when we have them on Sundays, when the boys who went to 3 straight state tournaments, when they came back, and she said when she drove home, there were so many kids she saw out in their driveway shooting baskets.
Yes.
And I don't think and she didn't think it was a coincidence, and I don't either. No. And I think this is where it starts. This is where you start building a foundation, and it's a good point. If you don't know, you just don't know, and you just expect your team is going to be 10-10. That's why we have some of these dynasties in sports. And one of the fun things about us going to AA next year is we're going to be a AA school, but we're going to still be a small community, and so you're still going to have people turning out just because it's a Titans. Where I've talked to AA coaches, and they say the only people that come to our games are parents or grandparents or friends. But he says out in T, you guys all just show up because you guys are all Titans, and so. Our last week here of Class A basketball, and bring on AA, I say. Well, thank you guys for doing this. Les, it was your idea. Thank you. And Rick, thanks for showing up and getting it all set up. Thank you for Andrew Griffin for getting it set up today.
Yes.
Go Titans State Tournament 2024. Coach Adam Shorsman, T-Area Lady Titans. Good luck tomorrow night, 7:45. Brookings, South Dakota Public Television.